could go somewhere next to you's the place I'm always gonna choose. 'Cause in my mind we're in Santorini.
Welcome to Greece and welcome to this new vlog. We are here exploring Greece for the next 9 days, roughly split up into thirds, starting here on the iconic island of Santorini. Then we'll be taking a ferry over to the lesser known but still very nice island of Paros before ending our trip in the capital of Athens. So take a look at this beautiful view here at this viewpoint in Santorini. Let's start exploring. So you can hear the bells from the church behind me, and we are doing this little hike here from the central hub of Meteora down there on the island up to the town of Meteora along the coast. Look at these coastal views.
I remember yesterday, like wedding bells in summer rain. I give to you my love, my life, this ring. I'm so lucky just to be here with you. Be the one to
So that rock over there, that is Paros rock, and we are gonna hike along this trail all the way up to there. Should have a great view. Okay, so we made it to Paros rock, and from this amazing viewpoint you can see all of Santorini pretty much. You can see this is the caldera, which was formed by the volcano. This is the town of Meteora, and on the other side of the caldera you have the capital of the island, which is Meteora.
If I could go somewhere next to you's the place I'm always gonna choose. 'Cause in my mind we're in Santorini, and everything is gonna be okay. 'Cause when I'm with you, life is like a movie.
Good morning from our first full day here in Greece. Yesterday I flew in the afternoon, so only had a half day, but today got the whole day to explore, and I'm doing a day tour to visit a lot of the top sites of Santorini. First stop is here at Paros, which is the highest point on the island. Look at this view of Santorini behind me. Then we're gonna go to a couple nice villages, a black sand beach, and then ending in the famous town of Ia. We are now walking through the village of Paros with a lot of these small, cute, narrow streets. We climbed up to this top viewpoint here in Paros. Look at this nice blue dome and the view of Santorini. It is so windy up here though. So we've now made it to the next village of Emporio. You can see this nice church behind me, and unfortunately the weather has taken a bit of a turn for the worse. The wind has picked up even more, it's starting to rain, but that's not going to stop us from exploring. So we are now here at the Paros Black Sand Beach, which is on the southeastern coast of Santorini. As you might know, Santorini is a volcanic island, which explains some of the steep cliffs on the caldera side, as well as why the sand is black here. Santorini is not really known for its beaches, but this is considered one of the nicer ones. So one of the things the Greek islands are famous for are its wines. So we are here at this winery doing a local wine tasting. And now we are ending our day here at the most famous town in all of Santorini, which is Ia. So Ia is all the way at the north end of Santorini, and it is famous for a couple things, including, of course, the iconic blue domed churches here, and also the sunset. As you can see, probably not much sunset today, but still great views. So now it is day 3 of our trip and our last day exploring Santorini before we head off to Paros. We are now walking through the central hub of Santorini, which is called Meteora, in the middle of the island. Then we will head over back to Ia to explore over there. And we are back here in the famous town of Ia. It definitely is way nicer in the sunshine. So you can see the main part of Ia up there on the cliff. We just hiked all the way down to here, which is this beautiful area called Amudi Bay by the sea. Alright, and we made it to the famous Ia Santorini sunset. Look at how many people are here at this prime location. But it is worth it because look at this sunset. So we have now left Santorini behind and we are on our way to the island of Paros. We're on this big ferry boat. It was kind of madness to get on because there's a huge crowd of people trying to get on this boat. But anyways, the seats are pretty nice, so should be a decent ride, about 2 hours over to Paros.
Grapevine twist, olive oil dream, sunshine in the mist. Hey, Gene vibes, hear the sea soft hiss.
And now we have made it to Paros.
Glow, Stone Edge talk, history breathing.
So we are now in the town of Nausa, which is on the northern coast of Paros. Paros definitely has a more laid-back vibe than Santorini, fewer crowds, but it's also very nice. So we're gonna check out Nausa and then head over to the beach later on.
Never in a shock, under Grecian sun, rhythms on the run, dancing to the beat, feel the heat, it's never done. Under Grecian sun, rhythms on the run.
So now we are taking this boat from Nausa over to the other side of the island, which is Columbitris Beach.
Blue and white paint shining on the walls. Santorini sights, dream the island calls.
So Santorini might not have the best beaches, but here on Paros there are some great ones. And this one here is Columbitris Beach, which is the most popular one. You can see it is really nice.
Ouzo sips slow, nighttime falls, melts a new breeze through the alleys crawls. Mount Olympus view, legends in the air. Zeus in the clouds, Apollo's glare. Temple ruins, whisper stories rare. Pythagoras theorem, math made fair.
Hello from our second day here on the island of Paros. Today we're doing a little day trip to another island next to Paros called Antiparos. We're gonna take this little ship over to that island and explore over there. now we are here at Paros. Gonna spend the afternoon exploring this smaller island and then head back to Paros in the evening. So now we're about to take this bus a little bit farther south on Paros to get out of the sun and explore the Paros cave. Just got off the bus and walking up there to the entrance of the cave, but on the way, check out this view from up here. Alright, and now we are here at the entrance of Paros cave. Check out the inside of the Paros cave. It is actually in the middle of this big hill in the center of Paros. You enter near the top of the hill, and then you take all these steps down to explore the cave. We are back in the main Paros town, now taking some time to walk through these streets and explore. Seems to me like Paros is similar to Paros vibes, but maybe a little bit more chill, and seems more like a day trip from Paros for most people versus a place that people stay for multiple days. So I'm just walking along the coastline of Paros, and I am finding that there are so many spots with no one around, and the water is so clear and the views are so nice. What a great place to just sit and relax. We are back on Paros. Ending my day here in Paros with a chill evening, just strolling around the Perikia Bay. They've got a couple beaches here, and I'm just amazed at how clear the water is. And you know, Paros might not be as scenic or special as Santorini, but it certainly is still very nice. One more day in Paros tomorrow. Good morning from our last partial day here in Paros before we head over to Athens in the evening. This morning we are taking a bus to Lefkis village, which is a mountainous village right in the center of Paros, to explore over there. And we have made it to Lefkis village. You can see it is this village situated near the mountains in the center of Paros. So a bit of a different vibe from the coastal towns we were at before, although actually you can still see the coast over there since Paros isn't all that big. But anyways, gonna spend the next couple hours exploring the sights of Lefkis.
If we pack our bags up tomorrow, go away someplace that we don't know. Close your eyes, take my hands and lead the way. 'Cause it don't matter what life may turn to, I have faith that we'll always make it through the weather. Dream my umbrella for you to be by my side. I'm so lucky just to be.
So now I'm walking away from Lefkis village and following this path here, which is called the Byzantine path. It goes for around an hour and heads over to the neighboring town to the east called Prodromos.
Santorini, and everything is gonna be okay.
So although this path is beautiful walking along the side of the mountain, I do have to say it is very narrow and a lot of the plants are overgrown. So a bit tricky to hike through, especially wearing shorts, but I'm getting there. Although 1 hour of hiking may not seem like a lot, with all the elevation changes and such strong sun, this hike is no joke. But look at these views of the sea beyond the trail. I feel like I just got a few shades darker just from that hike because there is absolutely no shade. But I've made it to Padromos and now I could use a break.
Like a movie. Oh baby, I love you more and more and more each day.
Made it back to the main town of Perkia. We have a couple hours left until we have to board our ferry to Athens, so just chilling here by the water.
All this year's been weird, but we made it through.
So we are on the ferry now to Athens. This ferry is actually more like a cruise ship because it's so big and there's actually multiple restaurants and tons of seating on here. Also lots of people. But anyways, should be a nice ride, about 4 hours over to Athens, and if we're lucky, maybe we can even catch a nice sunset.
I remember yesterday, like wedding bells in summer rain. I give to you my love, my life, this ring. I'm so lucky just to be here with you. Be the one that's enough.
Made it to Athens. Now heading to my hotel for the night, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning from Athens. Today is an exciting day because we are going to visit the most famous attraction in all of Greece, which is the Parthenon. And the Parthenon sits atop the Acropolis, which is this rocky hilltop in the center of the city. And on the Acropolis there are some other ruins on there as well as on the slopes nearby. So let's go and explore. So I'm walking toward the Acropolis now, and I just wanted to point out this street is lined with all of these trees with these bright purple flowers. It looks so nice. Well, there it is, that hilltop up there, that is the Acropolis of Athens. Let's go up and check it out. Alright, and we have made it onto the Acropolis. You can see some of the ruins up there, and on the other side we've got this great view of Athens. Now we are officially on top of the Acropolis of Athens. There are a bunch of historic ruins up here, but of course the most famous is the Parthenon, which is right here. It was built back in the 5th century BC as a temple to the goddess Athena. Now here's a quick tip for you all. Buy your Acropolis tickets online in advance. It wasn't that hard to get, and then you can avoid waiting in long ticket lines like this out in the sun. Now that we have visited the Acropolis, we're going to learn a little bit more about the history here at the Acropolis Museum. Alright, now we are spending the rest of our evening just checking out the streets in central Athens. We are here at Monastiriki Square, which is one of the main public plazas, and you see they even have a flea market here. Good morning from our second to last day here in Greece. It is currently around 7 a.m. in Athens, and the reason I'm up so early is because we're doing a big day trip today to Meteora. Meteora is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's super unique, where they have these 6 monasteries built upon these giant rock pillars. It is around a 4-hour drive northwest into the mainland from Athens, so a lot of driving, but if it's anything like what I've seen online, it should be well worth it. So let's head over. After a 4-hour drive, we have now made it to the town of Kalabaka, which is at the base of Meteora. You can see the famous rock pillars behind me, and it might be hard to see here, but way at the top you can see a couple monasteries already visible. Now it's time to head on up there and check out the monasteries. Look at these views. You can see that beautiful monastery back there, and we have made it to the first monastery that we are visiting, which is the monastery of Holy Varlam, which is up on this rock behind me. Now here is the single best viewpoint of all of Meteora. Look at that. Now here is the second monastery that we are visiting, which is the Holy Monastery of Saint Stephen. Meteora really did live up to the expectations. What a cool place with these unique rock formations and the monasteries. Now it's time to make the 4-hour drive back over to Athens. All right, and now 14 hours after we were picked up here this morning, we are back in Athens. Man, was it a long day, but another good day. Now, time to go and get some sleep ahead of our final day of the trip tomorrow. Good morning from our final day here in Greece. We are starting the day by exploring the old historical neighborhood of Plaka. And right now we are in a sub-neighborhood of Plaka called Anafiotika. Check out these old buildings here, and you can see it is right at the base of the Acropolis.
Sweet, chilling by the dock. Paros stand hustle, lucky on the clock. Acropolis glow, Stone Age talk. History breathing, never in a shock. Under Grecian sun, rhythms on the run.
Now here in the main part of Plaka, there are way more people with a whole bunch of shops and restaurants everywhere. It's still historic, but seems like this is the place to be. So next to Plaka, we have a bunch of additional historic ruins, including this one, which is the Arch of Hadrian. And also, back there are the ruins of the Temple of Olympian Zeus. So as many of you probably know, Athens is famous for being the site of the first Olympics, and it all started right here. This is the Pan-Athenaic Stadium, the host of the first ever modern Olympics way back in 1896. I'm now strolling through the Athens National Garden. It's pretty big and a great place to go if you just want to get away from the buzz of the big city and surround yourself with some greenery.
Dancing to the beat, feel the heat, it's never done.
We are here at Syntagma Square, which is one of the central squares in Athens. You can see there's a nice fountain in the middle, and across from Syntagma Square you also have the Hellenic Parliament building and the monument to the unknown soldier.
Under Grecian sun, rhythms on the run.
Okay, and now for our final stop of this trip. We are hiking up Lycabettus Hill. It's quite a ways up there, but there should be an amazing view of the Acropolis from the top.
Dancing to the beat, feel the heat, it's never done. Blue and white paint shining on the walls.
Oh my goodness, we have made it to the top of Lycabettus Hill, and just take a look at this amazing view.
Alleys across, Mount Olympus view, legends in the air, Zeus in the clouds, Apollo's glare.
Well, I certainly can't think of a better place to end this vlog than with this incredible view of the Acropolis and the city of Athens behind me. What an amazing trip this was. 9 days across Greece, combining the beauty of the islands with iconic Santorini and more laid-back Paros with the big city of Athens and Meteora yesterday. Santorini definitely lived up to the hype and all of the beautiful photos online. Paros is amazing if you want a more laid-back vibe and some proper beaches. And of course, you have to come to Athens to visit the world-famous Acropolis. If there's one piece of advice I can give you, it is this. Come to Greece in the shoulder seasons, and what I mean is May or September, because in the peak summer season, the crowds are crazy and the heat is also crazy. But here at the end of May, the weather is perfect, and I was actually surprised, even in places like Santorini. Sometimes I was wandering around and it felt like I was the only one on the streets. So again, amazing trip. I'm heading to the airport now, and I will see you all on the next adventure.
Cause in my mind we're in Santorini.